Did you know there are 1.2 billion buildings in the world? Technically, that's also 1.2 billion indoor spaces. That's a lot of buildings, so let's break it down. In the US, there's about 600,000 factories. Same country, there's about 6,000 hospitals. Let's have a look at some of the customer needs arising from the management of these indoor spaces. Between 10 and 20% of a hospital's mobile assets will go missing in their useful lifetime, costing $3,000 to replace each one. Regarding one particular hospital, over a 5-year period to 2014, 400 items went missing that were valued at more than 11 million US dollars. To add insult to injury, $50,000 worth of those items appeared for sale on eBay. So of course nurses are complaining about this, observing that they're wasting about an hour a shift looking for missing items. Let's move over to factories. There was an ABB survey which found that unplanned downtime can cost a factory $125,000 an hour. Factories vary in complexity, so that unplanned downtime can range between $40,000 an hour and more than $2 million in the case of a car factory. Forklift accidents can be a cause of unplanned downtime in factories. Continuing the cost theme, the medical attention can involve $40,000 on average per accident. More importantly, though, unfortunately, on average, around 87 US workers die per year in forklift accidents. Drilling into this further, pedestrians are involved in 20% of non-fatal accidents and 13% of fatal ones. So how have these customer needs registered with hospital leaders? A recent survey by positioning company Zebra of 280 hospital leaders found that 70% of them over the next 5 years are interested in installing some sort of indoor asset tracking system. So this tells us that yes, these customer needs are compelling, and in the case of hospitals, there is strong interest amongst the management for some sort of technology solution. So welcome to the Indoor Subindex Monthly Digest. Recently, I had the pleasure of doing an episode with Alex, the CEO of Navigine, an indoor navigation and asset tracking company. We decided that there would be a collaboration between Navigine and myself on a monthly digest covering the most interesting news and advancements in the Indoor Subindex. Navigine specializes in providing indoor navigation and asset tracking solutions for a variety of industrial applications, including manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, retail, and many others. Let's quickly have a look at what Navigine does. So you can see on the left an indoor navigation solution on a mobile. And then on the right, we have a couple of animations in plan view and then 3D view showing asset tracking on a factory floor. We can also see the live position of a forklift. Navigine comments that one of their clients in Southeast Asia is now saving 500,000 US dollars a month due to implementing a real-time locating system to track all moving equipment in their plants. And additionally, they mentioned that last year they assisted a warehouse in the US to reduce forklift accidents dramatically by optimizing routes, improving safety regulations, and launching proximity alerts. Navigine comments that traditionally an RTLS will reduce forklift collisions by 30%. Let's have a look at some examples of companies in niches in the Indoor Subindex. I've divided it into 3 niches. We've got scanning and 3D tours, and we have an example there by Matterport. Then on the right, we can see the indoor navigation niche, and we have an example here by Maps People. And finally, bottom left, the indoor asset tracking niche, and we have an example there by Halma. That's an RFID tag sitting on a nurse's wrist, tracking their movement through wards on a shift. This is an effort to track public companies. So one thing we can do is display a chart. It's always good to take the 5-year view to see the long-term trends and patterns. So a couple of things stand out. Happiest Minds, an Indian company, has grown the most in the past 5 years. And a very large one, Cisco, you wouldn't expect this perhaps, but actually they're down in the past 5 years. We can also look at this information in tabular form. So what I have here are the 15 companies that are publicly traded in the indoor sub-index. 6 of them are pure play, so-called, which means that they only offer products and services to do with one of these 3 niches: indoor navigation, asset tracking, or scanning and 3D tours. 9 of them are adjacent. So for example, Cisco is a very large company that sells routers, but they also have an indoor asset tracking solution. So there are 9 of those types of companies. Continuing on the bottom row there, we can see that this month, the overall value in terms of market capitalization is $236 billion. And the whole subindex has grown 2% over the past month. Let's move on to the next one, where I've sorted it on the niche column, just to show that there are 7 indoor asset tracking companies, 4 indoor navigation companies, and 4 scanning and 3D tours companies. It should be said that some of them do operate in multiple niches, but I've made a subjective judgment about which niche a company concentrates on. So why have I shown you this slide? Well, top left, you can see a red box. This highlights those 7 indoor asset tracking companies because at the beginning, when we were digging into customer needs, we highlighted the need for hospitals and factories to track the position of assets indoors. So those managers can turn to these options along with Navigine. Another way to look at it is in chart form like this, showing the growth over the past month. And what stands out here is that Halma has advanced the most. And towards the bottom, you can see that CX app has contracted a significant amount. We'll find out why next. So a great thing about public companies is you have announcements to the stock exchange and a bunch of busy journalists. So here we have from Dow Jones Newswires helping us understand why Halma has increased in value. So they have declared to the stock market there's been a 10% jump in revenue. So of course, shareholders are happy about that and the price has increased. Conversely, Reuters here has reported that CXApp has admitted they will be submitting their quarterly report late. This appears to have led to a loss of confidence in the market and the share price has gone down. A final piece of news is that Navigine has released their indoor routing library software development kit. This is their contribution to the industry to encourage growth. It's free software. You can use it to achieve routing between multiple points across multiple floors in a building. I encourage you to check it out to assist the growth of your own company if you're looking to enter the indoor sub-index. So thanks very much for listening in to the first monthly news digest about the indoor sub-index. I look forward to tracking customer needs, innovations in response to customer needs, and news about the interactions between those customer needs and innovations month by month.